last wedding?
It was cool. There was I was a little farther away from the dance floor than I liked. I like to be a little bit closer and feel it a little bit more. So I had to kind of watch the dance floor from afar versus being right up on it. I asked the dude.
This is what they had it set up.
Yeah, this is how they had it set up. There was no way for me to get closer the way that the banquet hall was. It was at this country club in Illinois, Chicago suburbs. I had to ask a guy if he wanted my job.
What do you mean? Oh, because he was bugging?
Well, because he was a DJ back in his day, and he did no turntables. He was a club DJ. So I literally asked him, "Hey man, you want my job?" And I just looked at him. You want my job?
Because he was talking about all the shit that he knew how to do and did everything, and telling you all the shit that he's done.
Saying, man, like, so he was a club DJ, and a club DJ and a wedding DJ, they're not the same. They the same foundations, but the thing is, club DJ, you're gonna have a packed club, which means you gotta have a packed dance floor at all times. I'm working a wedding that isn't as packed, and I gotta play music that I know is gonna give them a little bit of a break. Cause people gotta breathe. People gotta get drinks. They gotta refuel up on the liquor so they can sweat it out. So I had it rocking, and I'm gonna be honest. It didn't even feel like my best show, but I had it rocking. So I would play some joints to calm it down, and then bring it back up. And he's looking at the floor when it wasn't as packed, like I'm not doing my job. Like, look, man, you want my job?
Was he like shadowing you or some shit? Like...
His table was the closest to the booth, and he happened to be the guy that used to DJ. So, yeah, man. So, like I said, it didn't feel. I'm not gonna lie, it didn't even feel like my best show. But the bride and groom came up to me emotional, talking about how much they loved it, and that's all that mattered. And I could tell that they were being sincere. Fuck
everybody else in the room.
Exactly. Look, man, this is a white wedding. I'm not gonna have Morris Day in my.
A lot of those, don't you?
Oh, all of them are gonna be white weddings, and I'm not gonna have no Morris Day to be playing willy nilly. My man asked for Morris Day. He was a mixed dude, but you could tell that like the suburb life done like caught him all the way.
Got to him.
So he's trying to hold on to the last of whatever cool blackness he had left. Nah, that shit gone. I see it in you. I see it.
Give it up, bro.
I see it, Travis.
Travis. What's up,
yeah,
Trav?
Man. Yeah, man. But yeah, I'd asked him if he wanted my job. You know what I mean? He apologized, bought me a 7-7. I think it was a free one. It don't matter, but he brought it to me.
Fuck yeah.
So
that's fucking funny. So he didn't get offended or nothing whenever you said, "You want my job, motherfucker"?
Nah, he didn't get offended. He didn't.
But
nah, motherfucker.
I'd say some shit like that.
Nah, he didn't get offended. But
get up here, go.
He took it in stride.
Travis. We'll start calling Junior Travis if you don't listen. What's new your way, bro? Anything? No, not much, man. Fucking trying to get a hold of this motherfucker on eBay all day, seeing where some of my patches are at.
Yeah.
He ain't got back to me. It's fucking weird. I mean, I've got a couple patches from this dude before, and this one he didn't send no tracking information, and it said estimated delivery was the 1st. Well, today's the 6th, and that same day I ordered another patch, and it was coming from Russia.
Oh shit.
And that motherfucker's already been through customs. It's already in St. Louis. So I mean, and this dude's shit is nowhere to be found yet. It's a week late.
That shit's chilling.
Yeah, and this dude from New Jersey, his shit's a week late, and I emailed him like a couple days after he was supposed to be here, and he said, asked me if he had tracking information for it. He said, no, I just did regular mail, and but I mailed it. It'll be there very, very soon. I mean, he's got good reviews on eBay and shit. You can see everybody's reviews and shit, and see when the last time they got a bad review and shit like that. So, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. But, I emailed him again today, and I still ain't heard back from this motherfucker.
Oh shit.
He's about to get a bad review.
Right. Yelp.
Yeah, Yelp.
Hey,
speaking of that, did you watch last week's South Park yet?
The Halloween one? I did.
It was alright.
Yeah, it was straight.
New one tonight though. It's got fucking goddamn Al Gore's back on it.
Oh shit. I thought it was clever though about the scooters, because they got scooters littered all through downtown of City State that I'm at. I
thought it was just bikes.
No, it's the scooters.
Oh, see, I thought it was those bikes. I think they got those bikes like in Champaign and shit like that, or wherever.
Yeah,
the little white.
Sure. Yeah, these are like green scooters. They they said they all over downtown, and nobody knows where they come from. They just know you could leave them wherever, and then next time you pick one up, it's gonna be fully charged somehow. I don't know.
Skynet, dude.
Shit is crazy, man. But they were smart. Knock down all the telephone poles.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, South Park always is on top of it. I mean, this episode wasn't like laugh out loud funny, but I mean, there's still just funny shit.
Right. I ever tell you how? Because you told me the story about the patches. I ever tell you how I had to cuss out Groupon like earlier this year?
Hold on, the what?
I had to yell at Groupon.
Oh no, I ain't heard about that.
Yeah, not on the phone, but via like Twitter DMs. Like so I've been put on a coconut oil back a couple years ago, and I just can't use like regular lotion no more. So I ordered two big jars of coconut oil.
There's big old pumps.
You said what?
The big old jars with the pumps on them.
Nah, no pumps, but it's two big ass jars. And I found a deal on Groupon, and two big joints, man, for way less than way less than you should pay. So I ordered it, and I waited a standard amount of time, and I checked the mail, because my Groupon order said it was here. I checked the mail. It was this little bag. I take it inside. I'm like, no, this can't possibly be coconut oil. What is this? They sent me 2 AA batteries.
Boy.
Ain't no punchline to that. They sent me 2 AA batteries instead of my 2 big ass jars of coconut oil. Bro, I was so tight.
Was it just like, was there packaging on the AA batteries, or was it just like 2 batteries up in there?
It was a flat ass gray bag with 2 batteries in there. Not even like brand name batteries. Just 2 AA batteries. And I'm bugging like, what are you doing? Muracells. Right. Send me 2 AA Shuracells. Benegizers. So I reach out to Groupon like, nah, what you doing? Make it right. So they send it again. 2 big ass jars of coconut oil. And I'm tracking it. It's about 4 to 5 days after it was supposed to be here, right? So I track it. It got to City State I was in at the time, and then they shipped it back to Las Vegas. Shipped it back. They sent it from, like, it got from Las Vegas to St. Louis to City State I was in, and then just the next day they just shipped it back to Las Vegas. It was just sitting at a UPS center in Las Vegas. And I called them up, like, look, man, what's up? They said, oh, no worries, we'll have it there the next day. I said, hold on.
Give me some extra.
Get mad extra coconut oil. I said, hold up, wait. So you mean, okay. So it took a week to get from there to here, plus X amount of days to get back, and you're going to have it to me tomorrow. He said, yes. So 4 days later, it never left Las Vegas. Well, I'm in the Groupon DMs like, look, man, I won't make another claim. Just give me my money back. They're like, I know, we can contact the UPS. Like, nah. Look, man, just give me my money back.
UPS shipped that back to you.
Bruh, I had to bless them up like 3 times just to get my money back. They will not give you your money back unless you really like tune them up. I got my money back, and I waited for a little while and made my coconut oil purchase at a later date. But yeah, man, Amazon ain't what it used to be, man.
I guess eBay is really, really good about giving money back. Like they'll just straight up credit you. Like, if you complain that you haven't got your shit yet or whatever. I mean,
hey, good man.
I feel bad for one of these times. Like this patch, it was coming from the UK, and it didn't arrive when it was supposed to. It was like a week later or whatever. And I messaged the guy, and I'm like, "Yo, I still haven't got my package yet."
Right.
And he's like, "Just wait another day, and I'll message you back if you don't get it." And like, it's key if they actually message you back promptly and communication is the key when dealing with these type of people, because I mean they're just regular ass people. They're not like a fucking business, you know. Like most of the people that I get my patches from, they just like they have a fucking machine, they embroider them themselves and shit like that, just bootleg patches.
Right.
And I said that I didn't get it, and fucking it came the next day, and I sent the guy back the email. I was like, "Yo, I just got it." And he was like, "Oh, we already sent another one, so just go ahead and have it." I was like, "Bet, thanks." Thanks, dude. I'm just saying it's 2 of the same patches, but I mean, I might eventually have another vest, so.
Right. No doubt. I'm getting the
eBay. Like I've been doing a lot of shit on eBay, so I mean, try to use eBay, man. eBay's pretty tight.
I'm gonna have to fuck around and do. They got
a nice app. I mean, it works really well. You can save a lot of stuff that you're looking at, like a wish list or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
eBay app. That might be the move. That might be the young Movington.
Yeah, you can see how people's reputations are in there and shit that you're buying from and everything. So
nice. Okay.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat.
Pretty neat. That's what's up. Well, hell. I want to thank y'all for pressing play on episode 21 of the Hard Camera. I am your guy Juve, Juv, just under your visual. I'm sitting here with the boy Big Ren, the legendary, and together we are Kronik. Big Ren, man, let them know how they can reach you on the social medias, dog.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at amoffucka. You can also find me on Twitter at KingMoff. And last but not least, you can find me on Snapchat at MoffedUp316.
No doubt. Check out the instant grams at Juvie Desayuno, JUVIDSAYUNO. Check me on Twitter at Juvie Desayuno as well. Check out the Facebook.com/Juve page. Go check out our crack Twitter staff on Twitter at MixCloudJuvie. Get the archive of the archive and the archive of the Hard Camera. They also like to provide a little live commentary as these pay-per-views progress. Dog, am I catching you in good spirits tonight, man? How's your wave going? You feeling wavy?
Feeling pretty wavy, man. I'm feeling a bit better after everybody got back safe from the Crown Jewel, you know?
No doubt. Crown Jewel.
Crown fucking Jewel, man.
It definitely happened, didn't it?
Yeah, against all odds, it fucking happened. Vince made for goddamn sure that was gonna happen.
Yeah, man. You know, before we get to individual breakdowns of what we saw, because there's a lot to piece through, a lot to piece together to break through. What did you just think of it overall? A brief synopsis of the overall before we break it down piece by piece.
The tournament matches I thought were a bit short, and I kind of didn't. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really like. I felt like they focused on the tournament more than anything for that whole pay-per-view, and I mean, the crowd is what killed it for me, man. I swear. They didn't
seem. They seemed like they were there just to be entertained, but not that they were actually invested, right?
it was like that one level on Mortal Kombat when you're fighting a dude, and then Shao Kahn is just sitting back there watching the whole time, and he's got like his dudes bringing him out fruits and snacks and shit, and like he don't even give a fuck.
True. that was descriptive. Very descriptive. Crown Jewel was a fucking mess, man.
Goddamn right.
It was a mess in my eyes, man. They really did something to piss off every kind of fan that they have.
We got 8 more years of this shit too.
Yeah, when I found out it was a 10-year, no, we had 9 more. They did 2 shows. They're still in the first year. I read that it was a 10-year contract. I had to double check with you. I bugged out. 10 years.
10 motherfuckers, man.
10-year contract. We'll see how that goes, man. They talked about being an agent for change. I mean, they did get Renee Young out there in the in the commentary position. She didn't have to wear nothing on her head.
No sleeves. No
You said what?
no skin.
Oh yeah. No, she couldn't see. Yeah, they wouldn't go see her arms. But she at least didn't have to cover her hair. So I guess baby steps.
I was wondering too if she was gonna have to.
Oh, I definitely was. Oh, I definitely wanted to catch some pre-show or catch the opening for that. They cut out some women's footage in their promos, like for the WrestleMania promos. They cut out all the footage of the women.
Yeah, because last year, the first one they had, there was women in the promos, and they got some backlash from over there about it.
Yeah. Agent for change. We'll see what happens over these next 10 years. Let's break it down, man. So they started with the return of Florida man Terry Hogan.
Florida man Terry
Hogan. My initial thoughts on it, as I spent a significant amount of time a couple episodes ago explaining the conflict of being a black wrestling fan. And you can be honest, definitely be honest. What did you think as he opened the Crown Jewel show?
I mean, like, I'm wondering if they really had the Crown Royal show just so Hogan could come out and be the host.
I love that you called it Crown Royal.
The soda.
Smooth. No, it's definitely not no soda.
That's RC. That's Royal Crown. Yeah, whatever. But I mean, like, I don't know, man. I didn't think it was necessary, but I mean, I guess he's got to come back at some point. I don't know. So yeah, fuck it. Let's throw him over there in the Middle East with those dudes and have him come back there.
Throw him in the Middle East with those dudes. And it's so crazy that the real American Hulk Hogan was so necessary for a show in Saudi Arabia.
I was wondering if they're gonna edit his fucking intro. I'm a real American.
You know what it was? Like it's so ironic. Before I even get to what I think about it, like the irony of like the Hulk Hogan controversy, and so let's make his big return in front of a bunch of wealthy brown people.
Yeah.
like what the fuck? I found if they were gonna do it, because we all knew Hogan was gonna come back in some capacity eventually. If they were gonna do it, this was the smartest way to utilize it. In the sense that Saudi Arabia, they don't give a shit about race relations in America. Like, just give them Yokozuna like they asked for, and they're gonna be fine. Just give them Yokozuna.
You could have found a dude that looks like Yokozuna.
Facts.
Big and all, and threw him in there, and they probably wouldn't even they would have cheered their asses off.
They'd have been cool. Clearly, current events is not their thing. It's clearly not their thing. They want a little bit of nostalgia. And the thing with bringing Hogan to the Saudi Arabian crowd, again, current events isn't their thing. And it's going to take a much smarter approach to reintroduce Hulk Hogan to American TV audiences. Yes, it was on the network, but I mean, let him come out in Grand Rapids, Michigan on Monday Night Raw. Like, that might be a little tough. It's going to be tough just him coming out on an American program, Monday Night Raw, and then picking the city in which he'll come back. That's gonna be a little bit rough, reintroducing Hulk Hogan. So this was, if they're gonna do it, this was them kind of softening the blow, and they pissed off. Look, they pissed off a lot of people. Like, I was watching my timeline as he came out. They pissed off a lot of people.
What were they talking?
Oh, a lot of people are a lot of people I follow. Just no, they weren't having it, man.
Still fuck that noise.
Yeah. Well, because you know what? Here's the thing. I've never, so I compare it to the NFL. I have never outwardly told someone that they need to stop watching the NFL.
Yeah.
I acknowledge their issues with the physicality, concussions, the domestic violence issues, and of course the Colin Kaepernick issue, which is a deep issue and what it really means, what it truly stands for. I've never told anyone to stop watching NFL, even though it's easy for me not to partake. I only watch the NFL if I got homies around. I don't have a team, so it's easier for me to push it out of my life because I didn't grow up with it like that.
Yeah.
I understand the conflict of continuing to watch the NFL despite knowing that they have these huge problems. Because I grew up a WWE fan, and they've consistently shit on me as a black fan. They've shit on my blackness, and they've shit on my intelligence as a person. And this was another example of chasing the check versus the moral high ground.
I don't know if we're ever going to get that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man. Considering
it'll take something huge, and that sucks.
I'm nervous for a few things. We were texting earlier today, and we'll probably get to it either later in this show or maybe even next week's show as we talk about NXT TakeOver. But I'm nervous about the black wrestlers, the black artists in NXT as they get called up. I'm nervous about this Roman Reigns storyline and how much they're going to exploit it as far as Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. I'm really nervous about how much they're going to exploit that instead of using it as a storytelling tool and then using it as the foundation. I don't know how easily they're going to get away from that. I think about, like, back in the day, you remember Brian Pillman?
Yeah.
Brian Pillman passed away, and they did an interview with his wife the next week, if not the next day. For the sake of conversation,
right there. That sucks.
It was about the check, and it was also about clearing their ass to make sure they weren't seen as liable for his death. I really hope it was the next week. Something tells me it was the next day. But that, I think about when Eddie Guerrero passed, and they made Randy Orton go out there and tell Rey Mysterio and tell the world that Eddie was probably in hell. There are a lot of morally reprehensible things that we have had to sit through as fans, and we keep coming back. And we get on these microphones and we rip them a new one, and we keep coming back. So I can't blame. I wonder what it would take for me to stop watching. Yeah. I wonder what it would take for me to stop watching. Like, there are so many other companies out here. I really wonder what it would take for me to stop watching the big leagues. You know what I mean?
Really, they are the big leagues, but they're really only the big leagues because they're calling themselves the big leagues.
Well, you know what? They became the big leagues, and the only big leagues once WCW went out of business. There's never going to be the same boom as far as mainstream marketability. There's never going to be a company that's actually going to compete with them. There are so many more companies making a wave because they put on better in-ring wrestling product, but they're not going to compete on a major scale the way WWE does. So yeah, it is the big leagues. It's the mainstream. It's the Billboard pop hits of professional wrestling. And while there's always something else that's going to be offered, it's hard to step away from the big leagues.
Oh yeah, they're going to go where the money is.
Right.
Wes.
And even
Unless something
and even
drastic happens.
yeah, and even us as viewers, which is what I was really kind of getting at. So I really wonder what it would take for as much as we get on these microphones and bust their ass just for creative decisions. We haven't even we've spent time talking about the moral decisions, but on a weekly basis we talk about their creative decisions. I really wonder what it would take for me to not watch them. And that's a scary thought for me.
I couldn't even answer that question for myself either, man. No.
Yeah, that's a scary thought for me. So, again, we're going to talk more about specifically our acts like the Velveteen Dream, the Street Profits. If we don't talk about it on this show, we'll talk about it as we conquer as we comb through NXT War Games. But I really wonder, especially the more and more we come into ourselves as men, as people, and we have to check our own thoughts and actions and movements. Like, I really wonder what it's going to take for me one day to just be like, yo, these niggas is bugging. You know what I'm saying? Straight ROH, New Japan, and whatever else. There's so many other options, man. There's so many options. So, I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever happen. And I salute those who can take that stand. But long story short, I understand why people who look like me especially can't necessarily turn away from something like the NFL, something that they grew up with, because I grew up with this, and I know better. And they've they've shown they don't really give a shit about what I think about them, or shit about just the moral high ground. So,
how old is Vince now?
Vince has to be. Don't do that. If it's leading where I think it's leading, that's awful. He's got to be in his mid-70s.
Better health than I am, guarantee that.
Bro, he could probably bench press. Me. Pause.
Yeah.
Or at least give me a quick run for my money, man. So, I don't know. I'm not sure I would want to throw hands with Vince McMahon.
Nah, I don't think I would either.
Yeah, man. So, elsewhere on the Crown Jewel show, we crowned a new Universal Champion. Brock Lesnar is now a two-time Universal Champion. You called it, man. You called it. I definitely thought they would.
I didn't want to call it.
Yeah, business decision.
I didn't want to call it, man. I felt bad going against myself.
Yeah. 2 questions, and you can answer them in any order. First off, what do you see for Brock Lesnar in this new reign, and what does this mean for Braun Strowman?
Okay. I don't see anything different from this reign, or from when he had it previously. It's gonna be the same bullshit that we've been fed.
Yeah.
I feel like he gets to call the shots with Vince. I feel like he gets to determine how long he fucking goes out there and performs for. Everything like that. And I mean, Braun Strowman, dude, I'm fucking like, Braun Strowman's the man. He's fucking definitely my favorite one in the whole roster right now. And I mean, I'm not nervous for him at all. I'm not scared about what can happen or what's going to happen to him in the next, say, 6 to 9 months. But how long are they going to do this to my guy for?
My guy.
You know.
I'm not gonna blame Brock. Brock is the smartest man on the roster. He's working smarter, not harder. Ever since he came back in 2012, you can, and it was a sudden transition, but when he first came back in 2012, he had a little bit more of a varied move set. He was doing a little bit more. Now it's a more realistic move set, only it's a little bit more boring in the sense that it's German suplexes. The novelty of that has worn off, right? But I
Big
can't.
time since last year.
Yeah, right. But I can't blame Brock because he doesn't make the decisions. I don't think he went out there and made the power play and told Vince to put the title on him. I think it's 2 things. I think it's, for one, Vince. Again, this was that kind of crowd. Like, to me, the transition into what WWE is now started at WrestleMania 32. It was the one where Roman Reigns beat Triple H. Brock Lesnar started. Brock Lesnar started the decline of Dean Ambrose. The Rock came back and pinned Eric Rowan. John Cena, I believe, he was hurt as well, but either way, it was the most corporate WrestleMania of all time, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's where it marked the transition as to what they're putting on television now. Just a few years ago, this is a corporate move. It's a move to me that says, again, Vince doesn't have faith in his current roster between putting the title back on Brock and their reliance on the Attitude Era. Not that Brock was a part of that, but those two things specifically. But I think it was also a power play in the sense that if Brock Lesnar is going to have that fight against Daniel Cormier, that it looks a lot sweeter on paper with the UFC champion versus the WWE Universal champion.
Oh, 100%. I can get behind that 100%.
So,
I mean, okay, yeah, the pay-per-view started at 1 o'clock, noon, whenever, midday on a Friday for us here in the States. So, I mean, I fucking spoiled myself and read the results before I actually watched the pay-per-view. And this was without even knowing that Baron Corbin got involved.
Yeah.
So, I mean, once I watched it and seen that happen, like, it made me a bit more excited about it because I know they're not going to let Braun Strowman show his full potential against Brock Lesnar once that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, fuck, dude, the motherfucker hit him F5s on him.
He did. He definitely did.
And one of them was out of the ring.
Yeah,
and
true.
he still got back up.
True.
So, I mean, you got to give it to Braun.
They definitely did what they could to make Braun look strong in the loss with being cheated from behind by Baron Corbin and kicking out of so many F5s. But damn, man.
But damn, yeah. You're damn
but
right.
Damn. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man. I'm not sure what this says for Braun. I think Braun is in that space to where this isn't a good look for him because he's come up short in all of his Universal Championship matches. But Braun is a special breed in the sense that this couldn't happen to a lot. I won't even pick any specific names. There are a lot of people that this couldn't happen to on the roster who would come out looking a lot worse than Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, salute on that end, but I mean, I see Brock keeping this title until WrestleMania again.
I know, man, me too. And
until WrestleMania.
We're not going to see, I mean, he should have been on Raw, but I guess there really wasn't much for him to do on Raw. I mean, if there was any beef between anybody on Raw specifically, between that match, it was Braun and Baron.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And even now, I'm looking toward WrestleMania season. I'm not sure. There's only one person I can see them putting against Brock at WrestleMania. But they have a lot of building to do if it's going to be him. About. Who you thinking?
Drew.
Actually, no. I wasn't thinking Drew just yet. That would be really cool to see. I think they're going to slow burn him with Drew, and we'll talk a little bit more about Drew McIntyre. The only guy I could think of is the only other guy who has been talking so much about getting in the ring with Brock Lesnar, and that would be the big man, my man, Bobby Lashley.
Man.
But they'd have to turn him babyface again.
They made your boy pretty quiet the past couple events.
Yeah. They weren't about to let him talk on the mic at Crown Jewel. No. Like I said, I mean, Bobby Lashley, he has an MMA background. They still consider him some kind of star, even though they're rebuilding him. I don't know who else they would put in the ring. And besides Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley has some mainstream name value because of his former MMA career. Maybe some residual leftover value from that WrestleMania 23 match over 10 years ago with Donald Trump involved. I don't know. They seem to see something in Bobby Lashley. I'm not sure who else they can put in the ring at WrestleMania 35 that would carry the same cachet in a Brock Lesnar fight. And WrestleMania is a spot where we believe stories end, so you would think he would give up the title, but I mean, last year he kept it. This upcoming year, depending on who it is, he could keep it again, it being a much more corporate show. It's a different era, man. I don't know.
Yeah, we still got a ways till WrestleMania and shit like that.
We do.
And I don't know. Do you think the crowd's really behind Big Bob? Do you think the crowd would be behind Big Bob on that one?
I have no idea.
I don't think that really matter. But I'm just asking you personally. You know,
they'd have to build it the right way. They'd have to build it as two hosses. I mean, they've got their two mic workers in Paul Heyman and Leo Rush, so they can handle the mic work. Bobby and Brock could just get into fights around the arena. But I mean, it is November. It's way too early to tell. We got another 5 months?
Yes.
So that's another 25 shows, roughly. 25 weeks of Raw and pay-per-views. I don't know. That's the only I can think of now. I'd have to look at the Raw roster. Maybe they give Finn another shot in 5 months, or maybe I just keep saying it. But man, I don't know.
I would like it, but shit.
I would love it. But one can dream. One can dream.
That's right.
So when I picked up my newspaper Monday morning, it had this big headline across the front. It said, Shane McMahon, best in the world.
What newspaper are you reading?
The What the Fuck Times is the newspaper I pick up. Shane McMahon, best in the world. Make sense of it, man. Tell me, just talk to me, man. I don't know.
I mean, like I said, I kind of spoiled it for myself before I even watched the shit.
Yeah.
But even when I was still watching it, I kind of got excited whenever I seen Shane come out, even with knowing the results and just watching how it all played out. It was kind of tight, but again, it was still kind of really? This is so he's getting back into it, I guess. He's going to get tossed off something massive here in the next 5 or 6 months.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I really don't even know what to think of it besides, what the fuck. I really can't, put anything else with it. I don't know.
I was so tight. I was at my undisclosed location, tight. Oh my god. Like I said, they've done everything they can to piss off every type of fan they had in this show. Let's run through the tournament, right? Let's run through the tournament. Yeah. You mentioned that the tournament format, the matches were a little bit shorter. So I understand that because it's tournament format. So they had to crunch it in knowing that they would have these matches. I get it. It doesn't make me happy, but I get it. I was very surprised at first to see them put Ziggler over Angle. Even though I shouldn't have been surprised, Dolph Ziggler is in the prime of his career, and Kurt Angle is held together by glue, popsicle sticks. You know what I mean?
Smiling, just cheesing out there.
And smiles, and Captain America outfits in the middle of Saudi Arabia.
I suck.
Right. Tell me I suck, please. Right. So yeah, I was surprised at first, but I shouldn't have been surprised by Dolph Ziggler winning. Ziggler then beats Seth Rollins, which is where I had it surprised at. I had Seth Rollins going to the finals. So then we see, and on the other side, we see Miz defeat Matt Hardy clean. We see him beat Rey Mysterio clean. I should have known something was up when we got the heel versus heel final. I should have known shenanigans were in the air.
Some weak shenanigans.
That they were in the air. And so when Miz got hurt or whatever happened and Shane stepped in, to me, that shit's on Miz. It shit's on Ziggler. It shit's on
everybody in the tournament.
Everybody in the tournament. It shit's on the tournament itself that they built for weeks. They built that for weeks. Like, hey, we're going to determine the best in the world. And all that it did was serve. Well, it made the tournament complete. It made literally 7 matches on Crown Jewel completely meaningless. And all it did was serve as a promo for Survivor Series.
It's all about the corporation, man. It's all about big business.
I wish they just did better. I wish they did better.
I don't even want to give them any credit for nothing. Like not like the performers or anything like that. Like give them all the credit in the world, but like just the way they put it together, like that's such a weak cop out, just lame.
I legitimately thought we would have a best in the like the title itself is meaningless. Like the entire premise is meaning, I'm the best in the world. I at least legitimately thought we'd have a legit winner, which disappointed me, man.
No, we didn't get one.
No, we didn't get one. Look, man, Shane Man cannot go coast to coast no more, okay? Okay?
No.
Not without a trash can. Not without a trash can. They got to pick the right camera angle to make it look like he made it. Look, he didn't make it, okay? I seen it.
Like, Ziggler felt air, that was it.
Dude, he sold the air.
Yeah.
I appreciate Shane Man wanting to put his body on the line time after time and get that adrenaline rush, whatever, man. But look, man, there's better ways. He's a McMahon, I get it. There's better ways.
How do you think that would have went over if the show was over here in the States?
Depends on the city.
Yeah, that's a good point for sure. Chicago would have. I'm trying to think what Chicago would have done about that.
They would have shit all over it. Oh yeah, no, they would have shit all over it, man. Chicago's one of them cities where, like, you know how they've like ruined the Monday after WrestleMania by saying on commentary that, like, oh man, it's Bizarro World. Some people, this is the night where people who normally would get booed, they might get cheered. People who normally get cheered, they might get booed. Like, they would preface everything Chicago did with that. With that rhetoric. Like,
yep.
that kills me too. Like, stop ruining my Monday after WrestleMania by telling me, like, filth. Filthy.
Filth, slime.
Filthy. So as we before we get to the main event of the night, I want to let everyone know that, of course, we were taking our stats for Crown Jewel. We tied again, so we went 4 out of 7 each on Evolution, and this time for Crown Jewel, me and you both went 5 out of 8, which takes our totals to. Oh, and I want to let you know as well, we didn't count that World Cup bullshit. That's why I mentioned the stats now. We didn't count that. We both picked a winner for Crown Jewel. There's no way we can count that, so I'm not counting that. That one's thrown out.
Hey, get that fuck out of here.
Yeah, get that bullshit out of here. So Big Ring, you're sitting at 25 predictions out of 46 matches. Takes you to 54.35%.
Yeah.
Your boy Juve is at 30 predictions out of 46 matches. That takes me up to 65.22%. You creeping? You trying to creep?
Getting there, man.
You trying to creep?
Closer.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I brought that up now because we're gonna get to Taker and Kane versus DX, and we both picked Taker and Kane, and literally, because I watched it, I got to see this live right when the video package started. I knew we got that one wrong. We messed that one up.
Video package was tight. Brought it all back.
It let me know. It wasn't clear to me before. It showed me that DX were the all-conquering baby faces. They were the baby faces in this feud.
Yeah, for what happened after like Super Showdown and shit like that, like they all fucking shook up and shit, and then Taker and Kane turned on him. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. With that, with the way the promos were done with DX in the crowd, not in the crowd, but literally showing up to the buildings and giving the fiery promos that they gave, the fiery veteran promos that they gave. Taker and Kane sitting in graves they were the heels, and I didn't realize it until the video package. So I'm sitting there on my lunch break, like, well, we blew this one. And sure enough, we blew it. DX taking it via super kick pedigree combo. Is that how they lost? Is that how they won?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Super kick pedigree
close.
combo. What'd you think of the match, man?
I was just gonna ask you that same shit.
Shawn was the best part of it, as far as athletically. Triple H was the best part mentally. I think he tore his pectoral, so he gave
that thing up, dude. Did you see that shit?
Everything he had. Yeah, I did. He gave it everything he had.
Oh my God.
He was definitely leading these guys through the match. Shawn was the best best part of it athletically. I think though there were a couple moments in the match where Shawn, like, it hit him like, oh man, I fucked up, Holmes. I should have stayed down in Florida, Holmes. He hit that moonsault off the top rope to the floor and like didn't quite get all the distance.
Yeah.
Oh man, he ate that one, man. He ate it. He definitely ate it. What'd you think of it all, man? Let me know.
Man, okay, like, I actually liked the match. I thought it was a good match.
Okay.
And for these 4 dinosaurs that we've been watching since we were little guys, you know, I thought it was a good match. Okay. Did you realize how many times they changed camera angles during that whole fucking match?
I'm not sure I caught it.
Oh my God. Okay. Go back and watch that shit, man. It got me dizzy. How many times they changed the camera angles. And I figured out why. Well, I mean, at least here's my idea why.
Mm-hmm.
Because the hard camera crowd was up to fucking nothing. There was no participation. There was nobody getting hyped. There was nobody excited about this shit. So they can't sit there and show this match with just these fucking maybe like 200 people in the hard camera section of the crowd doing nothing.
Yeah. It was a bit of a lackadaisical crowd.
And like that's what killed it for me, man. It was just the crowd interaction, the crowd participation, just not there. They got to see some tight shit, and they just didn't give a fuck, and that sucks.
Yeah.
They didn't. I'm trying to think. They didn't. I don't know. Fuck. I don't think they deserve that match over there. Fuck that.
Fuck them.
You bring that shit over stateside?
They deserve it. Fuck them. Love it. Right. You know, it's they definitely still tried it with the "You Still Got It" chant. They definitely wanted to be like the typical American crowd, so they hit all the "This is awesome." They hit the "You Still Got It" chant.
I was wondering if they were just the sound guy was putting on those little chants like real quiet and making it louder and louder.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they do that shit like fucking whenever CM Punk cut with the CM Punk chant start.
Yeah. They
make it where we can't hear that shit on TV.
It was filthy, man. It was filthy.
I said it.
It was filthy. I was very amused / disappointed at all the plush luxury in the front row.
Hook it up over here like that.
Bruh, all that plush luxury. All them chairs. And then, like, the sheiks would, like, leave the chairs to their kids. Like, I'm sick of this peasantry.
They're just standing up, like, yelling at people, like, talking to their bros.
Bruh, they was in little groups just chatting. Kicking it.
No big deal. Like, I'm supposed to be here tonight. Like, I've got to be here for this wrestling event. Like, so, yeah, I don't care. Like,
it was definitely a prime example of, hey, peasants, entertain me.
Well, yeah, dude, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, man, I go ahead.
I enjoyed the match, so like I said, man, just the crowd participation was what killed me on that, and
Yeah.
That's what's sticking with me on that whole match, and that sucks.
It's a match that I won't remember.
A lot of people won't. I know they won't over there.
No, they won't. And it won't taint the memory of Shawn Michaels to me. Bald Shawn Michaels is still throwing me off. But
man, you see the movie Deadpool, right?
yes. Oh, no.
It was like, Deadpool.
He reminded me of Walter White.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, Deadpool's pretty tight, but...
He is. No, you're right, though. You are right. But he reminded me of Walter White after Walter finally was like, fuck, I'm going to shave my head. Fuck it. And then he walked out. He had the black DX trunks on, like a badass, kind of.
Hey, man, I wonder who paid for all that pyro. I know it wasn't us.
Boy, that show was some pyro, wasn't it? Boys had pyro.
Man, seen pyro, probably since Royal Rumble. Rumble 30.
I'm saying, man, old special show face. Moving on, man, we had AJ Styles defeating Samoa Joe. And what I thought was just a serviceable match. They made do with what they had to. They just got chemistry. They could run through a match in their sleep. That isn't so much important to me because we both called AJ Styles, as we knew Samoa Joe was just kind of a replacement. This leads us to Lesnar. This leads us to Lesnar Styles 2 at Survivor Series. Without going too in depth, because that's in a couple weeks, what do you think about that?
I mean, Lesnar Styles 1 was pretty tight. It wasn't, I'm just thinking of the past, Lesnar match for the past, 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
And it seems like nothing has really changed. But whenever he fought Styles last year at Survivor Series, there was a bit more, there was a bit more offense.
Felt
defense,
a little different.
I guess. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But,
right.
I mean, I don't know. I'm excited for it. Obviously, Styles is the man, and Lesnar's a fucking dick. So, hopefully the man wins.
What the fuck? We got in this corner, in the blue corner, we got man. In the red corner, we got the dick.
and it might be me just being too critical or I don't know on Lesnar being back, But I mean, I don't want to say too much because, like you said, we have this show coming up here in a couple weeks.
We
still got build. Hopefully, there's a build.
Hopefully, there's a build. They got a little bit more left to build. I believe next week is the go home show, right? So they literally have 2 weeks to build Survivor Series, which I suppose is again a testament to the Survivor Series theme of Raw versus SmackDown. So you don't have to put too much. Last year they started with the whole invasion of SmackDown over Raw, which I thought was fire.
It was tight.
It was super fire.
That too.
Yeah, super fire. That's kind of the issue with Crown Jewel too. They lumped it in the middle between Evolution and Survivor Series, which gave nothing enough time to build up. So, yeah.
So, I'm kind of wondering if fuck dude, what if Lesnar showed up at SmackDown?
Not a chance. Not a chance.
I don't know.
Giving Lesnar too much credit.
And I don't ever want to do that.
I don't ever want to do that. I'm excited to see Lesnar Styles too. See how they can build upon it from last year. I was kind of interested to see what AJ Styles versus Braun Strowman would look like, but at last we're not getting that match. Lesnar Styles 2, I'm down for it again, man. I really enjoyed last year's match. And
I'm down for it.
Looking forward to see what they can do again this year's Survivor Series. Moving forward to Raw, let's start at the very end. We had Drew McIntyre going over Kurt Angle. Kurt was fighting for his chance to captain Team Raw at Survivor Series. McIntyre put that man down, man.
No worries. Put him down. Fuck that noise. Get out of here, old man.
The new thoroughbred, the new killer thoroughbred put down old Yeller. I enjoy the booking of Kurt Angle. as far as in-ring Kurt Angle, of him fighting for that last piece of glory. He went in there against Ziggler, and character development tells us that they were going to put Angle over. Ziggler won clean, which actually made sense, made Ziggler look as he should have. Then they put him in there with that Scottish psychopath, and Drew McIntyre handled his business, man.
Drew McIntyre, yeah, I'm excited to see what they got coming up next for Drew.
Absolutely, dude's a star, man. Dude is a star.
Yeah.
Ever since he re-debuted,
I'd never really seen too much of him before he came back, because he was just in NXT, wasn't he?
He was in NXT. He's a different Drew McIntyre than he was when he first was there, with the Chosen One gimmick and the 3M band gimmick. Ever since he came back and re-debuted with Ziggler, and that first promo he dropped about the complacency in the locker room, you could tell he felt some of that. Like those are his real feelings, and he has been on fire ever since he's been on the main roster.
Like I said, I like everything that he's brought to the table so far.
Yeah,
it's been nothing but dank food that he's brought to the table.
True enough. You know? That might be the name of this week's episode, Dank Food. No doubt, man. So we've got on the Raw team, we've got Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. There's 2 slots left. Who do you think fills those in?
Shit. Well, it can't be Rollins because he's fighting Knock.
Right.
Maybe Ambrose? No, I don't think Ambrose would even go. Like, even if they wanted Ambrose to be on the team, he'd be like, "Fuck y'all." Shit. Finn will be on the team. Maybe Bobby. Finn and Bobby.
Those would be my 2 leading candidates. I was thinking maybe Angle still finds a way in, but my 2 leading candidates, especially Finn, I definitely think Finn's on the team. Regardless of how they book Finn is still mad popular. And that interaction he had with Drew McIntyre before the McIntyre Angle match, where McIntyre helped him out and hit him with the Claymore kick, I think that'll lead to some tension on the Team Raw side. Part of me thinks it'll be Lashley over Angle, because Lashley, I'm like, he's the huge project. He's Bobby Lashley, and he had that confrontation with McIntyre as well. He's the man, my man, the big man. He looks like money. He smells like money. His interaction with Drew McIntyre last week could probably lead to something interesting, as well as his recent feud with Finn. So I think it'll be Finn and Bobby. I think we'll see Finn and Bobby.
I like it. I mean, it's a stacked fucking team.
Yeah. So I like it, man. What appears to be, and we'll touch on SmackDown in a second. Appears to be, who is it? Miz, Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, and Samoa Joe. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So
also a stacked team.
So it's gonna be an interesting Survivor Series. We're gonna see how this goes, man. Furthermore, we have new Raw Tag Team Champions, man, the AOP.
Hey, hell yeah.
Formerly the Authors of Pain, until they learned and decided to know better. So the AOP defeated Seth Rollins on his own.
I mean, Seth Rollins is the man. It's Seth freaking Rollins.
It's Seth freaking Rollins. Yeah.
But, I mean, I think we all knew what was going to happen going into that.
It had to be done. It had to be done. It had to be done. Not really too much more to say about that. We'll see AOP versus Cesaro and Sheamus at Survivor Series, which is a big look for AOP, considering they haven't really done too much on the main roster.
They've done just about as much as Sanity has.
Right. So, yeah, a salute to Sanity. Keep sticking at it, kids. You'll see what it'll get you. Elsewhere on Raw, it looks like Nia Jax and Tamina are officially buddies. besties as a dismantled Code Red Mountain Dew herself, Ember Moon.
I forgot you called her Code Red.
Code Red Mountain Dew.
Fitting.
What's that?
It's fit. I said it's fitting.
Oh, the shoe fits.
Yeah.
Drink it. This
Drinking
to me,
it,
man. This to me, we've seen rumors about the women's tag titles coming up. I think they're just finding ways. I think they're just finding ways to strengthen that division before they announce the titles. While Ronda Rousey holds down the women's title, she's holding that down to at least WrestleMania herself.
Oh
so
yeah,
as we give
100%.
something else for the women to do. So what women's tag teams do we have? We have Nia Jackson. To me, Nia Jax isn't beating Ronda Rousey. Whenever that title shot is, she's not beating Ronda Rousey.
No.
So we've got Nia Jackson, Tamina. We got Sasha and Bayley. We've got Trish and Lita just came back. Looks like they're sticking around for a while. The Riot Squad. That whatever's going on with Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Alicia Fox. So there's some tag teams going on. That's all on Raw. SmackDown, the Iconics, Asuka and Naomi. Who else is on SmackDown tag teams? It looks like it's just those two off the top of my head, right?
Yeah, I'm have to agree with you on that. I think that's about it.
So, but either way, they're building up a division for the rumored tag team division, rumored women's tag team titles. I think that's strictly for that. Like I said, Ronda Rousey's holding it down until WrestleMania.
I mean, would you consider the Bellas still a tag team? I don't know. I mean,
Are they still around?
Yeah, true, very true.
If they're around,
But, I mean,
then
just for
definitely.
just for shooting the shit. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
If they're around, I'm rolling. I definitely see it. Speaking of tag teams, as we're going to head over to SmackDown, the Usos defeated the New Day on SmackDown in another addition to their classic rivalry. This time deciding it was. This time deciding who would be the captains for the SmackDown vs. Raw 5-on-5 tag team elimination match. Usos choosing New Day as their first pick. Who else could they even add to that team? Who else is a tag team on SmackDown? There's Sanity.
Saying New Day. Saying New Day. I don't know. I just can't see them. That would be it. That's fuck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's.
I can't think of any other tag teams. The bar is going to be busy with AOP. They can't just call anybody up within the next week.
Shit, they could, because what we just witnessed at fucking Crown Jewel.
yeah, you ain't lying. So, I'm trying to think of who they would even. There's literally no other tag teams I can think of unless they just put something together. Who's over on Raw? So, AOP is out, of course. So what? The Revival, the Ascension, whatever this Bobby Roode, Chad Gable thing is. What? Heath Slater and Rhino?
Shit, when's the last time we seen them? I haven't seen them since NAMM.
Dude, I'm saying, man. Long story short, I guess it'll be interesting to see what they can come up with. They already got the top two.
I don't think. I'm sorry. I don't want to take anything away from the performers, but it's pretty slim pickings on what's going to go on.
It's mad slim. And no matter who they put up, that's Usos and New Day. You can't just.
That little shit they had at the end of the match was tight, though.
Yeah, they always show love. They show love.
Oos.
It's respect there, Oos. It's mad respect, Oos. I'm going to have to Wikipedia the SmackDown roster. Maybe the Colognes come back. Holla at your boy on Instagrams. See if he's coming back.
Dude, a little bit of me thought the New Day was going to turn.
Really?
Yeah, just fuck that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of always waiting on the heel turn.
Somebody's got to turn, right?
Yes, yeah, somebody's gotta. I mean,
True. Yeah, man, tag team division looking real depleted. Luckily, somewhat luckily, and I guess we'll see how that shakes. I mean, the NXT tag division is thick. It's stocked up over there. So I mean, they've got teams in the farm roster to call from between whenever Undisputed Era hits the main roster. That's going to be big. The Street Profits, the Forgotten Sons, the Mighty, War Raiders. They've got tag teams down in NXT. That tag division is burning up. So in the meantime, the main roster will have to putter along, but give it some time, man. They've got some competition, some worthy stories to tell coming up soon. So what else happened on SmackDown? All of it is a lead into Survivor Series. The female SmackDown team is set. Charlotte didn't come out to receive her captainship, but I called 4 out of 5. I didn't think that they would put Sonya Deville in that look over Lana, but Sonya Deville getting a look at Survivor Series.
I'm cool with that.
I'm good with that too. Sonya Deville getting a look, and also they look like they're teasing a split between her and Mandy Rose.
That's fine with me too. I mean, fuck with me. I feel like we don't see enough of Sonya Deville.
We don't see enough Sonya Deville or Mandy Rose, but I figure if they're going to be introducing these tag titles, that this is the time they may want to keep them together. But who knows? Who knows? So the SmackDown team is, as I mentioned, I called 4 out of 5. Charlotte, Naomi, Asuka, Carmella, and Sonya Deville. The Raw team is led by Alexa Bliss. Who you think she'll recruit?
I mean, it's gonna be Bayley, Sasha, Natty.
I say probably round it out with Mickie James.
Okay, yeah,
like her
yeah,
bestie.
Mickie James, of course, yeah. So
my bestie. I was on the fence about Natalya, but I'm not sure who they would put over Natalya. I mean, Sasha and Bayley have to be in there, and Mickie is Alexa's best friend, so I don't know who they would put over Natalya. So I think I'm gonna rock with Natalya as that 5th slot too.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Well, there's Ember Moon.
Yeah, very true. I mean,
and I suppose there's also Nia Jax and Tamina, but I guess just them linking up together, I figured they wouldn't. Maybe they would just hold her off on this pay-per-view to build her up for the next one.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts about that, but I think those will have to wait for the show.
Oh, for the TLC show?
Well, no, for the Survivor Series show.
Oh, as far as Nia Jax and what she does next?
Yes.
So yeah, we kind of gave the ran-through of Raw and SmackDown, the follow-up to Crown Jewel. Did we miss anything? Anything else cool happen? Randy Orton has seemingly chosen his new target in Raymond Mysterio.
He just hates all those old dudes that are trying to come back and take his spot.
He's the old spot, man.
There.
Disgruntled veteran Randall Keith.
Yeah.
Randall versus Raymond.
He just hates everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't be mad at it. He hates everybody. He's not singling out one person. He hates everyone.
You know what I'm saying? Just listen to the voices in his head. They counsel him. They understand. They talk to him. Another chapter.
That's the talk to him.
Yeah, right. Willingly. We've got another chapter in the Daniel Bryan Miz feud. A nice little spin. Now they've got to be co-captains for Survivor Series, which I think is a cool.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's kind of cool. It's a cool way to keep them feuding without directly feuding. I like the little moment of them getting along about their picks facing each other.
We're working on another fire. We're working on building another campfire with him too. We're just getting the kindling together now.
Another campfire is amazing. So I think we kind of recapped literally everything. Any other pressing news or thoughts kind of running through your brain?
No, I don't think so, man. I think we've gave it all a rundown. I think we've been pretty
man,
good.
we kind of touched on it all. Crown Jewel was a big mess.
Yeah, you ain't whining about that.
Raw was undercooked, but provided a little bit of backdrop to Survivor Series. SmackDown, and I think this is because of just them not having the same amount of time. They announced all of their teams, except for the tag team division, because they don't have a tag team division. They announced their entire Survivor Series squad all in one show.
Yeah, it wasn't even the go home show.
Yeah, wasn't even a go home show. I could easily see, and I'm just thinking about this for the tag team match. I mean, yeah, maybe they add Sanity. That's what we forgot. Nikki Cross made her debut. I'm not sure if it was a call up as much as it was, hey, we're in the UK. Nikki Cross has an accent. Let's pull her out here.
I mean, yeah, you could be right on that.
Yeah, hell of a promo from Becky Lynch, by the way. I really like her.
Yeah,
rebuttal to
I like
Ronda.
her new deal.
Ronda talks too much. I don't like her on the microphone.
I've never really been a big fan of Ronda on the microphone.
No, she doesn't need to say so much.
Take some time.
It's gonna take some time. But her proclaiming to be the baddest bitch on the planet after all that shit she said, like, okay, Ronda, you talking too much.
Ronda.
You talking too much, Ronda. Becky did her thing though. Nice rebuttal. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that match a little bit more than I was, and it was already announced. So that's a good look. Nikki Cross got a good look. Quick 5-6 minute match to to Becky Lynch. Lost to Becky Lynch. You know, on one hand, absolutely. You know, on one hand, it was a good look for Nikki Cross. She's debuting in the UK against the champ. I'm not sure. Of course, she wasn't going to beat the champ, but that's kind of the 50-50 of it. Like, yeah, put her in a good slot. And not everybody can win their first match, but damn. She's already debuting with the lovable losers known as Sanity. Sanity hasn't done a thing on the roster.
Yeah, they maybe had like 2 matches, and they're like, y'all can take a 6-month break.
Just take a break. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see how that goes with Nikki Lynch, Nikki Cross, and Sanity. See if she can pull them out of the doldrums a little bit. We'll see how that goes. But Survivor Series is coming, man. One of the original Big Four, or maybe it's a Big Five now. Either way, it was an original. And next week, what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at the entire Survivor Series card. However, we're going to do you one better than that, man. We're going to take a look at the entire Survivor Series card, but we're also going to take a look at the NXT War Games 2 card. War Games, which is coming along very nicely, which I am very excited about just with the top 3 matches that they have announced. Again, we'll get into all of that next week. If you haven't been catching up with NXT, please catch up with NXT.
Yeah, just, join me. Yeah, because I'm gonna have to bang out this whole. I'm starting from September 5th. If everyone wants to know, I'm starting from the September 5th episode of NXT. So yeah, I'm gonna. And I actually just watched that episode last night, and I asked myself multiple times during the whole 1-hour show, what the fuck have I been doing not watching that every week? So
no doubt, man. No doubt. They've got some compelling stories being put together, and War Games is definitely gonna separate the butter soft shit from the leather on the fines, as they would say.
So, like that.
We're gonna Jay-Z got a bar for everything. So yeah, next week we're gonna take a look at Survivor Series. We're gonna take a look at War Games, and then week after that we're gonna come right back at you with the recap of both. It's been a busy couple months for us. I hope you've been entertained. We appreciate y'all for sticking with us, man. Big Ren, as we bring this show to a climax, let them know how they can reach you on the social medias, dog.
All right, y'all can find me on Snapchat at MoffDev316. You can also find me on Twitter at KingMoff. And last but not least, you can find me on Instagram at a motherfucker.
Hey, motherfucker. Find me on Twitter at Juvie Desayuno, JUVIDESAYUNO. On the Instagrams, Juvie Desayuno as well. Check out the Mixcloud Juvie page on Twitter and the Facebook.com/Juve page on Facebook. We're mad accessible. It makes me nervous how accessible we are. There's so many ways to reach us and get a hold of us. In the meantime, though, until next week, I am your guy, Juve. That is the boy Big Ren, the legendary. Together we are Kronik. We will see y'all soon.
Adios, amigos.
Salute.